Hey, what is up, mortals? It is Rinni here, and before we get into today's video, there's something I like to say. I like to let y'all know that we have a merch store. Some of the items in it are only available for a limited amount of time. So, if you're interested, go to the description and check it out. Each purchase helps us make more content. Secondly, if you guys didn't know, only 25% of you guys are subscribed to us. So please, hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon. Now with that out of the way, let's get into the video. In this deep dive, we will be explaining the Demon Slayers and blades of each character in Demon Slayer, also known as Kimetsu no Yaiba. The Demon Slayer Corps is an organization that has existed for a long time, dedicating its existence to protecting humans from demons. Though it has hundreds of recruits, the corporation is not recognized by the government. Kagaya Ubeshiki is running at the time of the show. However, he is the 97th leader. The Demon Slayer Corporation was created to end the life of the original demon, Muzan Kibutsuji. In order to even join the corporation, you must pass the final selection. Pretty much an entrance examination to actually join. During the final selection, you must survive 7 days on a mountain infested with demons. Participants may not have any help from the outside world. If you survive, you are to pick the ore you get to use for your blade. After this, the new founding Demon Slayers are to complete low-level ranked missions to climb the ranks. Another perk to this, you are to have your rank inscribed in your hand with a process called Wisteria Flower Engraving. With this, they are able to check their ranks and status by stating a password and flexing their arm. In the Demon Slayer Corps, there are multiple factions, starting with the Hashira, known as the Pillars. This group consists of the most powerful and strongest slayers of the corporation. In order to be able to become a Hashira, or a Pillar, you must either kill 50 demons or kill a member of the 12 Kazuki, a group of the most powerful demons who serve under the Demon Lord, Muzan Kibutsuji. We also have the Suguko, a very talented demon slayer that is to be the successor of one of the Pillars, should that Hashira die or retire. A demon slayer can apply and be accepted, or be scouted by one of the current Pillars. They would then be trained by the previous Pillar and learn everything they need to know. One more faction is called the Kakushi. They are the cleanup crew. Most have no swordsmanship skills. They are responsible for providing first aid to the injured demon slayers as well as administering proper medication. The Mizunoto are paid roughly 200,000 yen, whereas the Pillars are paid as much as they want or need. Within the Demon Slayer universe, the swordsmen use a type of combat, practice, and taught a technique called breathing style. It makes you capable to fight on par with a demon. It is generally used with their blades named Nichirin blades. Nichirin meaning the color-changing swords. There are different styles of breathing, but the ones known are flower, love, flame, sun, sound, thunder, wind, mist, water, insect, serpent, moon, stone, and beast. The first ever breathing style that was created was the sun breathing, and all other breathing styles stem from the breath of the sun. There are a few people who can use more than one style. They have a breathing hybridation. There are also 2 types that will heighten your ability with your breathing techniques called total concentration breathing. We come to our next topic, the blades. The blades are called Nichirin. As stated before, they change color. Odd, but they did. It depends on the person's skill if it will change or not. The blades were specifically made for the corporation to slay demons. They are forged from a unique ore that constantly absorbs sunlight, which is a weakness to demons. This is one of the only ways to kill demons, that and Westria poison. The forging process is very specific. They must be forged with scarlet crimson iron sand and scarlet crimson ore. Both are found on the high mountains of Sunlight Mountain, which is bathed in sunlight throughout the year. Each color of the blade has to do with certain breathing techniques. Flower being light pink, love being pink, flame being red, sun being black, sound being amber, thunder being yellow, wind being green, mist being white, water being blue, insect being lavender blue, serpent being lavender, moon being purple, stone being gray, and beast being indigo gray. One more topic to talk on, handguards! Each blade consists of one. It protects the swordsman from hurting themselves. It is located where the handle and the blade meet, and can come in different colors and shapes. However, The blades Inosuke uses has no guards. In the story, the first demon slayer we meet is Gyu Tomioka. He is the water pillar of the corporation. He is the one who releases Nezuko and Tanjiro instead of killing Nezuko, who has already turned, telling Tanjiro where to go, so he could learn skills to get back at the main antagonist of the series. Gyu's blade is blue with a hexagonal-shaped guard. The blades turn different colors with each wielder, hence Gyu being blue due to his water-breathing style. Gyu is seen as a strong and reserved man. He has issues with making friends, being a very awkward man. He was once told he was hated by many people, in which he was shocked by. Besides all this, he is a nice man and can make friends. We move on to the next character we meet, who is a retired demon slayer. His name is Sakonji Urukudaki. He's the one that teaches Tanjiro the skills he needs to join the Demon Slayer Corps. He has no blade that we see in the series. However, he was the former water pillar, so it's safe to say that he possibly had a blue blade, like Gyu. He also takes care of Tanjiro and Nezuko for 2 years, Nezuko sleeping the entire time. The next character who gets a blade is Tanjiro, our main character of this story. He is kind by nature, being described by others to have gentle eyes. He shows patience and great deal of determination, not giving up until he achieves his goal. After the slaughter of his entire family besides his sister Nezuko, he swears to turn her back to being human and kill the one who did these things to his family, being sent to a friend and teacher of Gyu. Sakonji learning all the skills from him, learning many water-breathing forms, meaning he learns swordsmanship skills of the water. After Tanjiro learns these skills, he is put through the test with many other young skilled people waiting to join the Demon Slayer Corps, and picks his ore for his sword. Tanjiro receives his sword from one of the swordsmiths named Hotaru Haganinzuka. Although Tanjiro knows mostly water-breathing techniques, he does not get a blue sword, as you would think. Once he unsheaths his blade, it turns black, which Hotaru and Sakonji freak out about, due to the color of the blade being rare. Its symbolism being unknown, due to the fact many people with this color of blade do not live that long. This does not seem to apply to Tanjiro. Later in the series, we find out its actual symbolism, being the sun. Tanjiro learns many different breathing types outside of water types. Tanjiro meets new recruits of Demon Slayer Corps that are on the same level as he is. These being Inosuke Hashibara, Tano Usuri, Zenitsu Agatsuma, and Genya Shinoguzawa. Zenitsu and Inosuke become travel companions and friends with Tanjiro. We meet Zenitsu after the final selection. He was trying to get a random village girl to marry him, saying he doesn't want to die before marriage. He is shown with a yellow sword affiliated with thunder, the guard being circular in shape with indentions on each corner. He was taught by the former thunder pillar, Jigoro Kawajima. Zenitsu used to have a different appearance, though once struck by lightning, his appearance changed to what we see now in the show and manga. He is a coward by nature, but is capable of great things. All of his breathing forms are of thunder nature, unlike Tanjiro, who knows many different. The next Demon Slayer we meet is Inosuke Hashibara. We meet him after Zenitsu and Tanjiro run into two children who claim their brother has been taken by a demon into a house. Inosuke is already in the house when the other two arrive. His blades are indigo gray. He is the only Demon Slayer we see wielding two swords at once. His blades have no guard. He also smashed his swords to be jagged, much to the disdain of Kozu Kanamori. The color of his blade represents beast, which means he uses the beast breathing style, and once again, only does beast breathing forms. He is short-tempered and a proud person. He wants to be praised for his skills and seen as the best out of all the rest. He was raised by a boar after his mother died when he was a child, so he has little understanding of how to act with other humans. He is reckless and will rush in. At the beginning, he would do this and attack anyone he saw. He tried to attack the two children's brother, in which Zenitsu and Tanjiro fought back against him to protect them. He softened somewhat because of Tanjiro, though he still wants to fight him, and prove he is stronger than him. Kanousuri is met once again when everyone is called to a forest after many members not coming back, due to the demons there being stronger than the basic ones you can find. The reasoning for this is because one demon is a higher status demon given special abilities by Muzan Kibitsuji directly. Kano showed up later than the trio, though she didn't go after the demons in the forest. She goes after Nezuko, who is carried on Tanjiro's back. She chases after Nezuko and is confused by the fact that Nezuko isn't fighting back, even though she's a demon. Kano's blade is light pink, which represents flower breathing, the guard being circular with no special shape. Her breathing technique was once used by her elder adopted sister, the former flower pillar, Kanae Kocho. She mainly uses flower breathing, although she has one other technique she uses that isn't flower related. Young Kanao was more indecisive and quiet due to the abuse before meeting the Kocho sisters. She didn't know how to make her own decisions and was given a coin to flip when she couldn't make a decision. Tanjiro is the one who pulled her out of her shell, and she starts to make more of her own decisions. Kanao becomes more able to speak her mind and gradually becomes able to show more emotion. She shows determination and deep care for her family. We meet her sister at the same time we re-meet Kanao, her elder sister being Shinobu Kocho. Shinobu's blade is lavender blue, which resembles insect breathing. The guard is shaped like a flower with 4 petals. Her blade is heavily modified, the end being made to look like a stinger to inject poisons into the demons. She is also a pillar of the corporation like Gyu is, being an insect pillar, or the insect Hashira. She doesn't use actual combat when she fights, but she does use her medical expertise. She creates poisons and venom using the wisteria flower. She can kill her opponents within seconds, being seen as a laid-back woman, though she has a cruel side. After Shinobu, we meet the rest of the pillars, along with the leader of the corporation, which we shall speak about now. Starting with Muichiro Tokito. He is the mist pillar. His blade is white, which symbolizes mist, of course. The guard is rectangular shaped with hollowed rectangles at each corner. All of his breathing techniques have to do with mist. Muichiro is rather airheaded, his mind usually up in the clouds most of the time. He tends to think only of himself and operates on the logic alone, never letting emotions guide him. However, he has shown seriousness and devotion to his position as the mist pillar. Next, we will go on to Guillaume Hajima, his blade being gray, representing stone, which means he uses stone-breathing forms. His weapon isn't like all the others. He wields a weapon you swing or whip around, having an axe attached to a spiked fail via a long chain to make up for his lack of sight. He is known to be the strongest of all the demon slayers. He is a gentle giant, being soft-spoken and sensitive, despite how intimidating he looks. He maintains a reserved disposition, and it takes him a while to trust those around him. The next pillar we'll talk about is Senemi Shinigazawa. His blade is green, which represents the wind. He is the wind pillar and he uses wind-breathing forms. Later in the manga, he hits his sword against another, which both turns red, granting the ability to use enhanced regeneration of demons. He is abrasive, hot-blooded, and stubborn. When he was first met, he was verbally abusive to Tanjiro and even abused Nezuko, stabbing her multiple times. When he was first met, he was verbally abusive to Tanjiro and even abused Nezuko, stabbing her through the box she resided in and slashes his arm to bait her into attacking him. Nezuko refuses, of course. Even then, he refused to accept the Kamado sibling. The next demon slayer we shall talk about is Tengen Uzui. He wields a double sword connected by a chain like a nunchuck, the blades each having a notch at the sharp ends. We learn that Tengen is the sound pillar, thus he uses sound breathing. He retires later in the manga due to how everything is affecting his family, even to the dismay of the other pillars, being called a coward. Our next member we will talk about is Kyojuro Rengoku. He is the flame pillar and has a red blade along with his breathing technique using fire. He's rather enthusiastic. He's regarded as the 4th strongest pillar. He wishes to protect the weak. Another member is Obanai Iguro. He is the serpent pillar, and with that, he also has a little snake friend named Kaburamaru. His breathing style is that of serpent breathing. His blade is lavender, has a circular guard, and is customized just for him. The blade looks like a snake body, the tip of it being a tail. He is in love with Mitsuri, the love pillar. Speaking of which, this comes to our next pillar, the love pillar, Mitsuri Karonji. Her blade is pink. The guard is shaped like a 4-leaf clover. The leaves have a pink core and a golden border. Her blade is made like a ribbon. It's thin and soft like a whip. She possesses the fastest techniques out of all the others due to the strong suppleness of her blade. Her muscles are soft, and she has a lot of mobility in her joints. Only she is able to wield this sword, taking advantage of her natural gifts. Now that we know about the pillars, we shall talk about their leader, Kagaya Ubeshiki. He is not a fighter, but he and his family have always been running the Demon Slayer Corporation. The family's men have been cursed for birthing the very first demon, that being Muzan. The curse placed upon the family makes it to where the men do not live past 30. The curse shows a mark. It makes him blind and is spreading throughout his body. It slowly covers his entire body and shall die once it has consumed him. Once Muzan is killed, the curse shall be lifted from the family and the corporation will be disbanded. Now with all that information, you know more about the Blades and the factions. Pretty interesting information, huh? Thank you all for watching the video to the end. Now, there's a few more things I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, I'd like to let you all know that we have a merch store. Some of the items in it are only available for a limited amount of time. So, if you're interested, go into the description and check it out. Each purchase helps us make more content. Secondly, I'd like to thank our $5 and up Patreon supporters for helping to fund these videos. If you're in the mood for some great storytelling, We the Celestials has got you covered. Our We the Celestials, My Hero Academia, and Naruto What If channels retell the story of their namesake anime with a twist. Check it out if you're interested. Secondly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details can be found in the description below. Lastly, if you're interested in what we do here at We the Celestials, then I'd like to extend you an invitation to join the team. The only caveat being that we only accept members from 16 years and up to join our crew. You can sign up for whichever category fulfills your interest by joining the recruitment Discord using the link in the description below. We're always looking for new members to join us. Well, that's it from us for today's video. So thank you all for watching and have a great day.